Hi, welcome to the second tutorial video. Let's continue where we left off. So community editor, then we go to the map that you made. Mine was named map. Okay, so after I did the stuff that I always do for every map, now comes the videos that's not always the same for every map. It will be unique to each map. I always prefer to start with outside. Outside is the most complicated and the most work. And what I like to do, if you press the letter C, you can toggle between like looking from above or looking like as you see in game. You can also do the same thing if you select level design, settings, and then you do camera mode. That does the same thing. So it's or C, it's or this button, and you can also choose light on or light off. And I prefer, yeah, you work a lot with both, but in the beginning, lights on is really nice. Okay, so let's start with mountains. You go to outside. Walkability, whatever you do, don't do walkability right now. There is a very specific way that you have to apply it, and it is very frustrating if you don't know how. So whatever you do, just please wait with using walkability. I will make a video when you should do it. So we go to height. There it gets all green because we only have one. This is like just one entire zone. And we want to make our own like lines of mountains, so we do create edge. Like imagine that I want, you always go to the edges, this white edge, and when you see the circle, the green circle, that means like you can, that's a nice starting point. So imagine I want a mountain that goes a bit like I keep clicking. The more you click, the more it is a bit like more fluent. So this is a nice mountain. So far I say define. And now we have like two zones. So I select the zone that I made. I press C, switch camera mode. And I can say, for instance, I want it to be size 2. What is very important to know that if you would make this size 3, but the other zone is only 0, so if it is a difference of more than 2, then you cannot use the generate cliffs. So it doesn't mean that you can't have a size 4 here, but it just means that the other size that is like next to it just has to be 2 or more. So, but let's just do it. So we want to make this 2 and we want to keep this on 0. The thing that you want to do now is you select the thing which is the lowest of the zones, because we don't need to give this a cliff type. This is not relevant because it's the highest zone. So just select the zone that is smaller and then choose your cliff type. I always use mountain, but you can use whatever you want. But for this, let's use rocks, mountain rocks, and then we do generate cliffs. Well, as you can see, we do have the mountain, but like how are people going to get up there? And then we want stairs. There are not a lot of options that you can use. Just type in stairs, and I always use brick. So we want a brick stair of height level 2, and I want this one. And as you can see, you can't rotate it, but you can still rotate it in a way is that using chasing this this one, the eye. And like 0 would be like the other way around, and 270 would be to the left or to the right, and then 90 to the other side. So it's 360 degrees max, and we want it to be a bit like here, I think. No, the other way around. 230, yeah, something like that. This is a bit clumsy, but it is how you have to use it. Let's do so. Don't worry about this sticking through these stones. I will show you how you can counter that. Okay, now we have a stair. So how do you make a river? Well, first what you want to do is you go to outside, height, create edge, and you're gonna form the river. So let's imagine that we want a waterfall right here. Want to make a waterfall right here. Actually, the better way to do it then is to go to assets and rewrite waterfall, and there in the vegetation set, below the vegetation set, because what you see here is just sound effects, whatever. We want to go for, well, I was doing a mountain, so let's go with a waterfall height 2. Well, this one already has a sound, so that's really nice. Again, we have to go here to the eye. What did I do just now? 220, something like that. No. 230. No, I don't want the other way. Yeah. If you want to see how this looks like, because now we are curious, like how does it look to the player? We play, you click on the button play effects, and we press L, this one light. Now we have a bit more of a feeling like how it would look like. Well, maybe we think it's too bright. We don't like the weather, so we go to themes, and then we choose in the lightning of outside, we choose like dawn. We can choose. I actually really like how that looks, so I'll keep it to dawn. I can also choose the weather. That has an effect on how things look. Like for instance, if you want a more like Evil Storm looks really nice, but this is a bit very peaceful setting, so let's go for something more relaxed. No, I don't like that at all. So let's go for the vaults. You can also do for the dungeon, you can set themes. For instance, if it is in a volcano, if you think it's really red. All the weather also. Snow, I don't like doing that much. But it's very personal, so do whatever you want. Okay, going back to our mountain. There's the river. So we click on outside. Because we want to apply the river, so we press first, we zoom out. Camera mode, so C. We press L for light, so that we see better, and then we go to outside, create edge. And let's see, we want a bit, here's the opening, so let's do there. And we want to bit small, my river. It would have been better if I made it a bit more wide, I think. Okay. The fine poly. It now separated the stuff. It made this one smaller, which looked really weird. So we just make that 2 as well. And we make this not 0, but we make this 1. So it's higher than this, but it's also lower than this zone. And we give it a we select the zone that is smaller than the others, this one, and we say cliff type. We don't want rocks, we want now basic, because it's so small. Huts doesn't really look nice, right? No. Like, okay, this is actually great. I absolutely don't like how I made it. I want to make it wider, so I do move vertical. And I can just move it. Don't worry about the stone looking weird. We can just press generate cliffs and it will generate all cliffs again. This one is a bit tricky. So, generate cliffs. Okay, that's better. Okay, save all, save all. We want to click this away. Okay, well, I see clearly now that, oh no, that looks really weird this time. So what we want to add is now the water. So we go to assets, then we type in water. And we want plain water. If you do plain water lava, that just means that in evilness, so that is this, the water will change to lava instead of the green water. Or the black one. So we just go back to neutral, plain water. And then replace it, doesn't really matter, replace it here. And then before we go to the poly editor, that's what we need to do to really make it fit the walls that we made. Let's make it a bit higher so that we can see it. Yeah, that's nice. And now we go poly editor. Above mode. You start with making a bit like this. And what is nice is that you don't have to do it precisely like this. Way better is to actually go a bit past it. It will not go higher than the rest because it is lower than that, than the stone. And now you hold shift and you click left, right, left, right, left. Don't worry about this last part, the player won't see it. I will show you how you can hide it from the player in another video. And the fog, that you can add the fog. Okay, let's go here. Share holding shift. Hats. Okay, how does that look? Well, fine. It's not really a piece of art, but it is fine. And now also you can put it higher if you like. Oh, well, that's way too high, but maybe I want to put it a bit higher. I don't recommend doing it, but also these gaps. So better is to keep it a bit lower. Oh, that's very low. Just do 3 again. And what we also like, what is also not looking really nice, is that it is grass that you're seeing, and it should be maybe dirt would be better. So first we go save all. Terrain. Then we choose from this. We choose dirt A. For instance, you could also choose different stuff. Be mindful of that some stuff is exclusively evil. For instance, like magic dirt, magic grass, hell organic, hell sulfur. There's no a good and an evil side to it. And I think for your beginning maps, it's maybe a bit easier for yourself if you do first everything in good. And then you can copy all terrain of good to evil, and I will also show you that. But that is something that you do, of course, in the end. So just to go for everything in good. So we go for dirt. Make this brush a bit bigger. And the paint layer we put to 1. And then I lock it, and what it does, otherwise it's more in a gradation, so that you have to hold it to apply it correctly. See, I have to hold it a bit, but if I just do this and to 1, it's instant. And in this case, that's what we prefer. So, yeah, you guys have to watch me doing this, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Save all, save all. Like, let's say, to just show you already, it's like I also want to be sure that if someone is playing evil, that he doesn't have the grass, that he also has like the evil dirt. How I do it is I set the global settings here. I set to evil. Then I go to terrain. Then I do copy from. Everything is correctly selected, and I just make this huge. That's save all, save all. Neutral. Okay. C, L. So now we have a bit like this. Well, the water is a bit low then. Let's make it a bit bigger. We first select assets. And I can select the plain water if I remember where I place it. But if you can't find it just in your level objects, if you press assets, these two will always appear. So just type in water. And then I can just select the thing that I made. And I make it a bit higher. Oh, that looks better. Well, this looks nice, but like it's missing something. So we have to go to outside and hide again. And we're gonna create another zone. L. Let's say to keep it easy for myself in this tutorial, I will not make like a whole lengthy thingy. No, I think I will actually, because then I can show you how to make a bridge. So let's do it then. Let's say that first the water collects a bit. Like this. And then the water moves away. And now this time not too narrow. See, if I do it only a few times, it will not look very fluidly. So I should make more verticals. That's hey. Hey, godsamme. That's fine. Define poly. And I want to make this lower, of course, because this is 0. You want to make it lower, so you make it -1, and this also -1. And we select again the lower zone. So these ones are bigger, so we select the lower zone. And we do mountain plants. Maybe that's nicer now. No, it's not. Mountain rocks. This one also. Mountain. Hello. Mountain rocks. Deselected C. L. That's why I often use turning on the light on off and off, that you can check a bit like, hey, does this look nice actually? Because this doesn't show it at all. Water. So we're gonna add more water. Different plane this time because it's a different height. So we make a new one. That's the water's too low. So gonna make it a bit higher. 1. That's a bit too high. Minus 0.3. Light. Poly. I don't like how the waterfall looks, so maybe I did something wrong. Is this too high maybe? Right. Yeah, I think I have to make this lower. First let's do the river, then it's easier to spot if it is nice. So go back to the poly editor. Now above L, you make this go clearly over. I hold shift here to add another one. That's and holding shift when I create new verticals. Save all, save all. I think it's way better now. Like if you can look really closely, you can see that it's a bit high, too high. Still, but if you don't care about nitpicking, then oh, this is again too low because now we see the river behind it. So let's just go set it back. 1.5. Yeah, I think it's fine. Terrain. And we're gonna add dirt again because the stones don't the grass doesn't really look that nice. And so if you make a sea, you would choose sand instead of dirt. And then you could go for this. As long as you don't forget to also, never forget to also copy it to evilness. So that if someone has conquered like a city and it changes to evilness, that they would also see the sand in evil vision. What was it doing? Like terrain is normally a nightmare because you see it doesn't really look that nice now. Because then you have to just do this and then it does look a bit better. That's for another time. If I want to remove something I did, I can or go over with it with the grass. Or you can put it to 0 with the thing that you were using the last time, and then you can also remove it. As long as this is selected. For at least to have it faster removed. Save also all. That's LC. Well, the water is a bit high, so let's make that lower. Minus 0.8. I think this is not bad for quick waterfall and water. And we have the stairs. Hey, look at that. I think this happened because the difference, it's only good that these mistakes happen because we have -3 and we have 2, so that's a difference of 3 and that doesn't work. This is 1, this is -1. Why does it, if I do, can I not now? Oh, I see it, we split it. We split it when I made the river, so we created a new zone and that doesn't have that cliff type applied. So we do mountain rocks and then we do this, generate cliffs. Now it's solved. And now I'm gonna show you how you can remove this. And you want to, you have to keep in mind though that I'm gonna remove it, but every time you do generate cliffs, it will be set back. So you rather do this when you think you're really done with all the cliffs. It does not a problem if you reset it, if this reappears again, because I will show you how you can take it away. First I used, if you select this in a spline editor and then cut mode, that is actually really bad. It's great for walls when you want to make a circle. But in this case, we don't want to do it this way, because then we will get a lot of gaps, like these visible thingies. What I do want you to show you though, if you see these gaps sometimes and you think like, oh, I don't like this variation of the wall, you can select it, spline, and then you do spline editor, and then you do new seed. This will give you another variation, and it might look way better or it might look worse. If you want to nitpick it, like I think for a lot of people it doesn't really matter, but if you really want to make it really fancy, you can just keep smashing that. And if you're like, hey, wait, this one looks nice, and it's like, it's fine. Okay, so we go to outside, create edge. Always look on top, otherwise you can't see it. And there we want to, precisely here where the stairs ends here, a bit higher, there, and then here where the stairs is here. That's define, save all, close this. So you see now there's a gap behind it, which means that if I do generate cliffs, it doesn't generate the cliff at this point anymore. Now I can make it higher. Select this, and now I make it equal to the rest, 2. See, now it doesn't have that through the stone. You will have sometimes that you see these gaps. You have to hide them a bit. What also really works is like putting some vegetation there to hide it well. Before, like for instance, I can choose bush and then place a bit of vegetation to hide it. Save all. Okay. But for now, we are going to lower it again, because we will, like we're going to make it equal to this lower part. So we're making this 0, not generating cliffs. Don't need to, because we already did it successfully here. The reason why we do it is because this is not the last time that we are gonna generate cliffs. So we keep that equal to the one lower, and we want to make a bridge. Let's see, where would we like to make it? Like for instance, let's assume that we would like to make an entrance outside here, and then the heroes would have to go more like that. Here's the bridge. So assets, in the assets, when these two are enabled by default, we will type in bridge. I actually most of the time I only use wooden bridge. Oh yeah, what's really important here is that, yeah, you see here parts of bridges, but the easiest way is that we go all the way down to splines. And then you have a bridge set spline, a mindset. So we want, what was nice? I think this one was nice. And so we first displace it, spline editor, and then we do add segment. And then you'll see it like this. We can just drag it. If you think like, well, I just want to have it straight, well, this actually makes straight. That's, how does it look overall? Well, maybe it's nice to have it there, here then. Make straight. If you want to have it a fixed scale, you can disable this, and it will always, however you place it, will always be the same size. Which is in some situations way better. For bridges it doesn't matter, but like for walls, sometimes you will want to have this disabled. I'm gonna enable it now, because I want a real small bridge. Extremes. Yeah, again, like with the stairs, it's going through it. The spline, the mountain spline. So we'll have to do the same trick. Outside, overview, create edge, and we're gonna make it like here. Define. create edge. This is annoying. So we're gonna move this first go. Can I move it a bit? It's in the way. Define, create edge. Define. Now we're gonna make this one is -1, so we want to have these ones -1, 2. And then we do generate cliffs. This is why I kept this low, because now if we headed this up at level 2 again, the spline would go through the stairs again. Now it didn't because we kept it low. And then we can put everything up because that's the last time I'm going to use it. So this will be 2. This will be 1 and 0. So L to check how it looks. Oh, that is good enough. That's